All right, welcome in everybody. Today, we are going deep on Lady Gaga.
Ooh, fun!
And we have a very interesting mix of sources here. Movie reviews,
Okay.
box office reports, even a little peek at the Razzie Awards.
Oh, wow.
It really is a trip through Hollywood,
Right.
where critical acclaim and commercial success, well, they don't always see eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be the case, at least to some degree, with Lady Gaga's role in Joker. Folie, Deux.
Interesting.
The reviews, well, they're kind of all over the map.
Okay.
And those box office numbers, kind of a head-scratcher, frankly.
Hmm.
So is Joker, Folie, Deux, a misunderstood masterpiece?
Ooh.
Or did it just completely fall short?
Right.
Let's dig in.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that I found really interesting is Joker. Folie, Deux was never really going to be a guaranteed crowd pleaser.
Right.
I mean, it's a sequel to a dark psychological thriller.
Okay.
Then you throw in Lady Gaga,
Right.
known for, well, her bold, sometimes controversial artistic choices.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a recipe for some pretty polarized opinions.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's exactly what we're seeing.
Interesting.
I mean, we've got reviews ranging from 1 star to 4 stars.
Wow.
The Independent even gave it 4 stars,
Really?
which is, well,
Kind of surprising.
yeah, given the overall kind of negative response.
Right, right.
Rotten Tomatoes heads it at a dismal 31%.
Yikes.
I mean, how do we make sense of such a stark contrast in opinions?
Well, I think taste definitely plays a role, but it's more nuanced than that, right?
Okay.
Film criticism, like all art criticism, I think, is inherently subjective.
Yeah.
It's influenced by, individual preferences,
Yeah.
expectations, cultural background.
Right.
Heck, even the critic's mood that day.
Oh, yeah.
With a film like Joker, Folie, Deux, you're dealing with themes and aesthetics that are really just going to resonate differently with different people. Some critics, they might appreciate its artistic ambition, while others might find it, pretentious or off-putting.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the critical reception is, well, mixed,
To say the least.
to say the least.
Yeah.
But then you look at the box office performance, and it tells a whole nother story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it grossed $207 million
Wow.
worldwide,
Okay.
which sounds like a lot, but the budget was a whopping $200 million.
Okay.
And then you factor in marketing and distribution costs.
Right.
Industry analysts, well, they estimate that Warner Bros. Could be looking at a loss,
Oh, wow.
$150 to $200 million.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. What happened? Why didn't it connect with a wider audience?
Well, I think there's a few factors.
Okay.
I mean, superhero fatigue is definitely a real thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Audiences, they might be feeling a little overwhelmed by, the sheer number of comic book movies coming out. And Joker, Folie, Deux, even though it is more of a psychological thriller, still kind of falls under that umbrella.
Right, yeah.
And then there's the competition, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it had to contend with several other big releases, and that really just split the audience.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then let's not forget the subject matter, right? It's dark.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
It's not exactly a light watch.
No, it's not exactly escapist entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's not going to appeal to everyone.
All right.
Especially, I think, in the current climate where people might be looking for something a little lighter,
Yeah, that's fair.
a little more uplifting.
Yeah, a little more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And how's Lady Gaga reacting to all of this?
Yeah, it's got to be tough to pour your heart and soul into a project and have it receive such a mixed response, both critically and commercially.
Yeah, I would imagine.
She seems to be taking it in stride. Yeah, in a recent interview with Elle, she talked about how, as an artist, you really have to be willing to create things that people might not like. She even said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that sometimes the things that don't connect in the way you intended can end up being the most meaningful.
That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of reminds me that true artistry isn't really about chasing popularity or pleasing everyone, right?
Yeah.
It's really about expressing your unique vision, even if it's not universally embraced.
Exactly. And I think it's a great lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
Not just artists, right?
Sure.
Sometimes the things we're most passionate about.
Yeah.
The things that truly challenge us, they're just not going to be met with universal applause. But that doesn't mean they're not valuable or worth pursuing.
I completely agree. It's so easy to get caught up in that external validation, but ultimately, I think the most important thing is to stay true to yourself.
Absolutely.
And your vision.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of external validation.
Oh, here we go.
let's talk about the elephant in the room.
The Razzies.
Oh, the Razzies. Yeah. Folie Deux received 6 nominations.
Wow.
Including Worst Picture.
Okay.
Worst Actress for Lady Gaga. Worst Actor for Joaquin Phoenix. And Worst Director for Todd Phillips.
Okay. Wow.
So what are the Razzies?
Yeah.
And how seriously should we take them?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, the Golden Raspberry Awards, better known as the Razzies, are basically the anti-Oscars.
Right.
They're this tongue-in-cheek awards ceremony that honors the worst movies and performances of the year.
Interesting.
So there's a voting body. About 1,000 or so film professionals and enthusiasts.
Got it.
They nominate and vote for the winners. You know, it's all meant to be fun and satirical, a way to kind of poke fun at Hollywood excess.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's important to remember that the Razzies aren't exactly known for objective and nuanced critiques.
Right.
It's more about, well, entertainment value than actual critical analysis.
So maybe not the most prestigious awards to be nominated for.
Probably not. But
hey, it's all part of the Hollywood game.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes a Razzie nomination can even boost a film's notoriety.
That's true. That's true. Okay, enough about movies.
Okay.
Let's talk about music.
Yes.
Lady Gaga has a new album coming out.
Oh, nice.
Mayhem.
What?
It's generating a lot of buzz.
Really?
Yeah, and word on the street is it's a major departure
Interesting.
from her previous work, kind of a sonic reinvention. Now, her last album, Harlequin, was tied into the Joker movie.
Oh, right.
And it didn't really make as big of a splash on the charts as some of her other albums. But Mayhem is supposed to be something completely different.
I love that. You know, I find it so fascinating about Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
That she's not afraid to experiment.
Right.
Push boundaries, constantly reinvent herself. And, you know, sonic reinvention can mean a lot of things, right?
Sure.
It could be exploring new genres, experimenting with different vocal styles, incorporating new instruments or production techniques.
Yeah.
It's really about pushing her creative boundaries and taking risks.
Exactly. It's about evolution and growth, not just repeating the same formula over and over again.
Absolutely.
And speaking of evolving, I have to mention her involvement in the upcoming FireAid benefit concert.
Oh, nice.
She's joining a stellar lineup of artists.
Okay.
Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, Stevie Nicks, and Joni Mitchell.
That's awesome.
All coming together to raise funds for the victims of the recent devastating fires in Los Angeles.
That's great.
It's incredible to see these artists using their platform to make a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
And in this case, you know, the FireAid concert is not just about providing immediate relief to those affected by the fires.
Right.
It's also about supporting long-term initiatives to prevent and combat future wildfires.
That's awesome.
They're raising awareness, promoting fire safety, and funding research.
Great.
And resources to protect communities from these increasingly frequent and destructive events.
Yeah, that's so important.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive into Lady Gaga, what are the key takeaways here? I mean, we've seen her resilience in the face of criticism, her willingness to experiment and push creative boundaries, and her commitment to using her platform for good.
Yeah.
What does it all mean?
Well, to me, it says that she's an artist driven by something deeper than just fame or fortune.
Okay.
You know, she's someone who's constantly evolving, who's not afraid to take risks, and who's using her influence to make a positive impact on the world.
I love that. So do awards, box office numbers, or even reviews, do they truly define an artist's success?
That's a great question.
Or is it something more personal, more about the impact they make on the world and their own creative journey?
Yeah.
That's something I'll certainly be thinking about.
It is something to ponder.
And for our listeners out there, be sure to check out Lady Gaga's new album, Mayhem.
Mayhem.
And if you can, consider supporting the FireAid benefit concert.
Absolutely.
That's a great way to help those affected by the fires and to contribute to a more sustainable future.
Definitely.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.